they can join us. So as I was saying in the beginning, I am Fabíola from the Municipality of Fundão, and we are here today to for this webinar. With that, it's a part of a webinar series that the FoodCoP project is doing. The FoodCoP is an European project funded by the Horizon Europe. It's led by the Municipality of Fundão, and this project aims to strengthen rural innovation ecosystems to foster collaboration between territories and highlight the role of startup villages in driving sustainable development across Europe. Through this webinar series, we provide some concrete examples, some practical knowledge, and opportunities for exchange. So in this session today, called Next Gen Agriculture in Fundão, Rural Innovation from the Ground Up, we will explore how Fundão is combining technology, sustainability, and entrepreneurship to shape the future of food systems. So there was a little bit of a change to our panel today. We were going to start with the Councilor for the Municipality of Fundão, who is one of the responsibles for the AgroTech Centre in Fundão. Unfortunately, he could not be present, and so we called our colleague João Milheiro, who is more than fit to make this presentation, because this the explanation and the context of what AgroTech Centre is very important for you to then understand why we invited the other speakers here, because they are also a part of AgroTech now. And so I'm going to give the floor to João Milheiro so that he can give some context of AgroTech Centre. João.
Thanks, Fabíola, and good morning, everybody. Thanks for the last-minute invitation. So if I feel a bit nervous, it's normal for me because I'm going to do some improvise. So let's do it. I think it's a pleasure for us and for me as well, in the behalf of the Councilor Pedro Neto, speak about this agrotech ecosystem that we have been creating for a few years. I'm actually working in the innovation team of the municipality. We started this strategy in 2012. Most of you already heard our innovation story, so I won't bother you about that level. But one key factor that I want to share is that the layers we've been heading since these past 13 years. And agriculture technological layer was one of them. Councilor Pedro Neto started this strategy, and he's been doing a great work to work with the rural communities, to work with the forest, sustainability, and being part of one of these Horizon projects help us to hear inspiring stories, hear good practices about all Europe, and we learn from you, and I hope probably at some point you will also learn from us. I'm going to start the presentation, so I hope we have sound in the final video presentation. If not, it's got subtitles, so I think it will be enough. You watching?
Yes, perfectly.
Good. So this is the key factors of our agrotech ecosystem. We've been working on the forest, with the livestock, with agro-industry and agriculture to make some intervention and priority lines on adding local and valued resources fostering innovation, and create bridges between science and academies to support business activities. This is actually one of the first slides that we made to our AgroTech Hub. We thought about these 6 important strategies to develop. One of them was Business Incubation Center, which is, all of these are already a reality and have physical interfaces that connect us to our local and outside communities. We promote some scale-up seminars. I think this webinar we are making here today is a good example of that. The labs that we are providing to our community are important tools to maintain research, development, and at some point scale up the pilots that we develop. Investing and fundings are also important for us. We try to be the interface between startups and investors. Fundão is already on the map for investing communities, and luckily we've been searched for important people that come to Fundão and see how they can invest in our territory. IoT showroom, it's more than a showroom. It's important for create visibility for the projects that we develop and are working on. And at some point create a networking factory to let the community make the important work. So this is the map. As you can see, our territory is very large. We are about 700 square kilometers. And to make this work, we need to create infrastructures with proximity to the villages and the whole territory. That's why we distribute it, as you can see in this map. One of the key factors that we started to create was actually LoRa network. As you can see, we got a full spectrum, broad, the whole territory of the LoRa network, which is available to the developers, to the farmers, to the people that can use this totally free network that we are providing. Besides that, we have also these 5 infrastructures. The cherry farm is one of them, and I start by this because we are celebrating the inauguration soon. This farm is a farm connected with the Ciência Viva Foundation from Portugal. They work with schools. They have good learning and teaching programs to spread the importance of the environment conscience and start with the kids to provide them tools to make a better world. So we are inaugurating in 23 of September, and we are betting on this infrastructure to keep saying and telling the message that we want to pass to our local community. It's important to have digital tools. It's also important to connect to our local roots and identity. So you're all invited to come and see how it goes. We also have Carvalhal Biodiversity Station, which was recently affected by the huge fire that we had in our region. Fires are still being a tragedy for us. Our fire prevention and detection innovation is working also in that level. We want to avoid and minimize the impact of the fires in our forests, in our farms, and also in our villages. So we are starting to grow from the ground zero almost in this biodiversity station. We have also water sensing infrastructures, because water is a precious element for everybody and we want to keep taking care of it. Agri-food transformation unit, I think you will know better our infrastructure. One of our speakers today will share better than me what is going on there. And the Center for Improvement and Performance of Native Breeds is also an infrastructure that we are already working on, and our intent is to keep our local breeds active, healthy, and improve our even also the industry about that level. I will share some photos now that you can see. They are our. This is the seminar over here. It's also our immigration center, is where we receive our migrant communities and start to interact with us also in the AgroTech level. Most of them are our collaborators, and it's very good to, when they arrive, they start to do some kind of works and start to do some integration practices, and I think it's a win-to-win situation. In the top we have AgroTech Centre. It's our headquarters for the AgroTech ecosystem. It's where the team of AgroTech is working, and as you can see in the bottom photo, that's our farm, experimental farms. Every pilot that we collect from the academies, from the universities, from the needs of the local producers, we put them in this area. They also serve as a showroom. Okay, when people want to test technology, test new pilots, they come for us, and we try to gather some space or land to develop and test and analyze these prototypes. More photos, some of the IoT devices that we have on the fields. We have also a good infrastructure that I've got a slide specifically for that, which is the biotech plant lab in Castelo Branco. It's an interface connected with the university, with the specialists about the bio knowledge about agriculture, and we are already making an impressive work with laboratory experience, our breeds, and improve our local cultures. We are also working on fire prevention and detection. We are working on, I think there are 2 European projects that we are starting to create some pilots to anticipate and create fire intervention better. For the use of technology, it's very important, because with the devices that we put on the forests, we can work faster and earlier than using the old means. LoRa network is also important in this kind of activities that we are doing, because it provides full connectivity. We have some blind spots of 4G coverage, and network, other network coverages. So water network, it's a good interface and connectivity to provide that. These are some of our recent tools that municipality invested. Also about these gears and equipments, the drones are also a recent investment. We want to share with the local community because we are talking a community of farmers that is getting older. Some of them didn't pass or didn't have the opportunity to pass their activity to their sons because most of them went far away to the big cities, and some of them are returning because agriculture is nowadays much more comfortable than it was. So let's hope they still return to their places and their born places. We achieved recently 2 drones for irrigating farms and totally autonomous. So this means that in the comfort of your home, we can practice agriculture and being helped with autonomous systems that can make even a better job than human can. So that's the digital agriculture reality nowadays in other countries. We are just making the first steps, but I think we're heading in the right spot. We have a sample of invisible fences. We have some projects already on the territory. We have the Sapadora goats that they are working in the Garduinha Mountains, and one of their main goals is they help us to keep the forest clean. With the electronic and the visible fences, we can control the areas that they are cleaning and also living. So good technologies at our service are very important for us. Okay, this is the biotech plant lab I told you a few minutes ago. They are connected to scientific and technological boards, and Municipality of Fundão is very close to them. And I think we also are making the bridge between our universities. Fundão doesn't have one, but our partnerships and our local and also European networks that provide this talent that can help us to keep doing what we are. Exchange programs, internal programs that people that come and move to Fundão to work with us for a while. So I think it's also important to connect our territory with the academy, even with science. One of our major events that we started with Councilor Pedro Neto leadership was this Agriculture Innovation Fair. It's got 4 years of age. It's a yearly based event, about a week of all these components ahead, with food, with music, with entertainment for the kids, but also has got a technical layer of sharing knowledge, presenting projects, giving the startups the opportunity to show themselves. It serves as well as a showroom for this kind of projects. And also, in my opinion, but the public opinion of our city, it's that it came to stay, because it is proving to our community. It's important to gather this kind of community to keep doing what we are. So this year's edition already happened. Let's hope next year we'll have another agriculture and innovation fair. To finish, I just want to share this video with you. Let's hope that you got sound. If not, please watch the subtitles, and sorry about this technical. So I hope you enjoyed, and watching this video is always inspiring. So I think, of course, I'm suspicious, but I'm proud of the work that we're doing here at the municipality, because we are connecting people. We are connecting people to technology. We are giving them the opportunity to learn from the good practices that we have around the world. And I think we're in a good track. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope that you soon move to Fundão, if you're not.
Yeah, thank you, Joel. Yeah, we are all very proud to work in the Municipality of Fundão, and we are all very proud of our hashtag Move to Fundão. Yeah, obviously this, like João said, this AgroTech Centre, it is not only for maintaining or testing innovation, is also a way to attract people to come to Fundão, because we give them these conditions to test their innovations, their products, and not only that, also even sometimes agricultural methods and techniques that sometimes are very expensive for farmers to try on their own. And so this AgroTech Centre is also for that. So if you have a project of your own, you can knock on our door, and we for sure will be very happy to help you with that. And that being said, I see Luis here. I don't know, Luis, if you're going to be the one talking, or Gonçalo will.
I will be presenting, Fabíola.
Okay, so I will give the floor to Luis from Food for Sustainability, and he will showcase us a little bit how silvopastoralism can serve a regenerative future through the Idanha Food Rural Park. The floor is yours, Luis.
Gonçalo, sorry. So Fabiola,
I'm
first
sorry,
of all,
because the name here says Luis.
oh, sorry about that.
Sorry, Gonçalo.
No worries, no worries. So first of all, thanks so much for the invitation to be part of this work webinar on next generation agriculture in Fundão. João has already highlighted a lot of challenges that rural regions have, and I bring the case of Idanha. Idanha is one of the largest municipalities in terms of area in the country. It's the third largest municipality, I believe, with 1,415 square meters. And one of the most, let's say, deserted per square kilometer of inhabitants. It's gone through a number of, let's say, past policies that were national and that really left the environment very deserted. So I'm Gonçalo. I'm the founding entity, one of the main founding entities of laboratory CoLAB, collaborative laboratory CoLAB, which is called Food for Sustainability. We headquartered in Idanha to try to bring science and technology at the service of generation into the, let's say, municipality, but we work at the national level, but also at the European level mainly, and we are going international into other regions across the world. Our job is mainly work with regeneration practices, science-based practices to improve the soil conditions, and by doing that, then we can introduce more complex life forms like cattle, which are one of the ways that we can speed up the increase of organic matter. I'm sorry because my presentation is in Portuguese, but I'll be speaking English. So for those that moved recently to Fundão and don't speak English yet, you can practice your Portuguese by reading my slides and understanding what I say, hopefully. So João already covered the regions, a lot of regions in Portugal. There's a big divide between the, let's say, rural regions and the city centers, which are mostly located towards the ocean. These are many historical reasons that explain that, but what we know is that there's less cattle, less grazing, less activities that leave our territories more prone to fires. We've been seeing these trends in the past. So the abandoned territories is the worst thing that can happen to interior rural regions. So that leads also to desertification of our soils and extinction of biodiversity. And that combined with intensive agriculture has led to many challenges that we see today, and fires and monoculture and pesticide use, which is what we are trying to find solutions to. So in Idanha, as I explained, we have a perfect test bed because it's a very deserted area, but also with very tough soils. And it's for us, it's like a large-scale test bed where we can pilot an impactful initiative with a focus of regenerating our soils, our forestry, and also produce foods with some local gastronomy knowledge and cultural aspects. So we'd like to make out of Idanha a use case that can be replicated across other regions. As I mentioned, science-based, we work a lot with soil microbiology, which means that we try to understand the billions of interactions between microorganisms and how they can accelerate what we call the food web chains and help regenerating soils, and with that, increasing the resilience of our soils. So the forestry is for sure a very important aspect in this regeneration, not only for game, as for instance, Idanha is one of the largest hunting for game. It's very known internationally, not so well known nationally, but this is an area that we are working towards to create a slaughterhouse that can package this game, but also provide a certified food system which enables safe consumption of this game. We are setting up a genetics lab to improve, let's say, the adaptability of our autochthonous species, grazing species, lamb and others, that are the most well-adapted species into the territory. They can withstand droughts, and they know how to pick the best, let's say, crops to find the right nutrients in the right seasons, for instance, and they have a high capacity resilience to withstand stress, water stress, but also heat stress, abiotic stress. So we are setting up similarly to what Fundão is doing, leveraging 2.0 digital technologies and digital collars. We will be facilitating the introduction and supporting financially the introduction of, let's say, 2.0 young generations of farmers that want to install cattle and with the help of digital tools, manage these areas for not only cleaning the forest biomass-wise, but also providing ecosystem services beyond that, as regeneration of soils and increase of organic matter through their poo and their activities, as they are a very important element in territory. And finally, from the farm to fork, we are going to present on the 22nd of September our strategy that has been developed by Food for Sustainability over the last year in a detailed study, bottom-up study, where we interviewed almost 100 stakeholders across the value chain to install a slaughterhouse and a processing meat unit to package and distribute with a cold chain integrated positive and negative temperature to be able to integrate the value chain from A to Z. We're trying to do this, not reinventing the wheel. We are learning with many friends like Fundão, but many other municipalities. I think we should be leveraging and working together as a community, which is sometimes not so often. And in our case, we need to introduce many different, let's say, multidisciplinaries into the ecosystem, from mushroom ecology, apiculture, with pollinators, biodiversity experts, nature capital experts. And I believe a lot of these trends are now becoming almost law, like the soils mission and soil law at European level, but also the capital preservation has been recently published in July by the Commission, that will be a major tool to foster ecosystem services. And I believe our territories like Fundão and Idânia are uniquely poised to leverage these new, let's say, business models. We are also preparing the installation of bioponics in controlled environment for agriculture production, where we will do salmon trouts and some combination of aquaponics with the valorization of side streams into biofertilizer and biostimulants, which is one of the areas of our expertise in precision fermentation. Luis is here. You can ask. He's an expert on these aspects. And of course, we are leveraging the power of microbes to do that in terms of, again, accelerating the regeneration of our soils. So our first, let's say, benchmark project will be Herdade do Ribeiro do Freixo. It's located in Idânia. It's a large property that is managed by the municipality. It is in fact close to 500 hectares, and we will inset the first silvopastoralism flock soon, We will eventually be wanting to reach 5,000 animals, heads, but we'll be starting with a small installation and then learning as we go. This will be the let's say, the test beds for creating the first installation of the first shepherds, digital shepherds, and then helping us to multiply our autochthonous genome. We want to sequence the microorganisms that are present there, the best well adapted, and then multiply them, propagate them, and this will be a very important tool as we scale the project. Wild table, I mentioned briefly the importance of game and hunting in the region. I don't think, at least until a few years back, I have no idea how much international people travel to Portugal to find an experience, a unique experience of being in the nature and with gaming and hunting in a controlled environment and sustainable environment is a big opportunity. None of these activities are now certified. We are trying to bring international standards to the curation to not only make sure these practices are sustainable for the generations to come, but also to drive more value from these activities. We know they are very much below the potential. We know Spain, for instance, has done a big job, and Sweden and France and other geographies. And there are some estimates that our game industry could be worth almost €1 billion, and it's very much below that, maybe 1/10 of that amount. Part of this Idania Rural Park is creating knowledge, scientific knowledge I've mentioned, technology knowledge for implementation, for scaling up some of the experiments we are doing. But then eventually we need to, and we are already working with the local producers, bovine producers, for instance. And I give an example of how we work with them so we can improve their economics. Usually bovine, it's an interesting case because most farms they sell their animals when they are 12 months old, and they get usually let's say a turnover of €1,000 per head. And what we are trying to demonstrate to them is that if they maintain their animals until, let's say, year 2, they don't get so much more money. They get only extra €200. But when we look at the advantage of having the animals for longer in their farm, they are actually producing what we call ecosystem services. And our agronomists and our zootechnicians have calculated the amount of manure that each animal produces, which comes just over 7 tons in case of this species, bovine species, per year. And then we calculated the economic equivalence of this manure. If they did not have the animals, how much they would need to spend to fertilize an equivalent amount of manure. And this comes to an extra €130 per year in micronutrients, not including micronutrients and microbiome from the rumen of the bovine animal, which accounts to an extra €150 per year. So in reality, the economic revenue the farmers have, €1,200 per, let's say, 2 years of grazing, is complemented by almost €300 of extra benefits in terms of fertilization. So this is what we call advanced regeneration pathways in agriculture, and this is what we are trying to shift the mindset of farmers so that they understand the economics, not only the economics of revenues of selling meat, but also of investing in their own capital, which is their soil, which is the best investment they can do for them and become independent of, let's say, synthetic providers of chemical inputs. I will skip this slide because it's more into the national policies and how we could perhaps work together with maybe a call for action or a white paper so that we can meet with our ministries and with our food retailers and try to adopt some practices and policies that foster conditions for farmers not to be so much under pressure to sell fast, but rather to look at the resilience of their systems, because ultimately, if we cannot, let's say, have enough offer of protein, we will have to import this protein from elsewhere. But coming from Food for Sustainability as a science-based lab, of course, we have always to go beyond the perspectives which are more obvious and try also to quantify the health benefits of what a kilogram of meat is coming from extensive grazing or from intensive grazing. So again, our zoo technicians have been analyzing through European projects in different farms what we call the food density, nutrition density of not only milk, bovine, but also sheep milk, and compare that with intensive practices. What we see is that we can modulate what we call the omega acids, which are one of the most important nutrition fatty acids present in both in meat, but also in olive oils and oils and also milk. And what we see is that the meat that comes from regenerative agricultural practices, extensive practices, has an ideal ratio of omega fatty acids, 3 fatty acids profiles under 4. When we look at intensive meat, bovine kept in captivity, which is the intensity that takes place in 90+% of the meat that we eat, we see that these profiles are omega-6 to 3 fatty acid profiles are around 18 to 20, sometimes 25. By the way, the same happens in olive oil. So not olive oil is the same. We know that root system, how deep the root systems go, how we work with the stress and the abiotic stress, the usage of camalhões, which is not so good for health. So what we are bringing is a science-based, healthy perspective that not all food is the same. And this is very important because the most knowledge the consumer has, the better choices they will be able to make for them, the more money we will save in our national health systems, and the more remuneration or the better remuneration we can steer towards our farmers. So we can say, I want meat which comes from extensive grazing and that has created jobs in Fundão or in Idanha or in Alentejo. I don't want to be eating meat which is unhealthy for me, with not equilibrated fatty acid profiles, and that has not generated upstream all these jobs and all this value in the ecosystem services that we've been talking about. So, in fact, my last message, we are what we eat. We, as a Food for Sustainability science-based CoLAB with almost 50 scientists working on these practices every day, giving our best to bring and shed more actionable practices to a more future planet. We want to put Portugal on the map, and we are doing just that at the European level. And by having impact, we hope that this practice can also be replicated across Europe, and some of them become more what we call evidence-based policy making. These are some of the numbers, you can read them through, that we want to impact in the next 5 years, and hopefully also work with Fundão. I know Luís has been doing already some very good work with some farmers in Fundão, but we certainly have to, give hands because the world needs it, and we are going to need fast solutions to improve the, let's say, the tough environment, the climate warm impacts that we are seeing today. Thank you so much for the opportunity and bem-ajam. Muito obrigado.
Thank you so much, Gonçalo. Yes, this partnership between Fundão and Food for Sustainability will definitely get stronger and stronger, I'm sure of it. Yeah, here I can see that the Dickinsons have a question. I don't know if it's a mistake or you really have a question. Just to let you know, we will have a Q&A session at the end of the presentations, but if your question is for Gonçalo, please ask your question, because I know Gonçalo might have to leave the session soon. Maybe it was a mistake. So we will continue with our presentations. Thank you so much, Gonçalo.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I will now give the floor to Daniel. Daniel is from the Center of Foods Education and Research, and he will be presenting to us the Nurture project and how unused food resources are being transformed through circular bioeconomy. So Daniel, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Gonçalo, thank you very much for sharing too. By the way, we are developing a food sensor because not all foods are the same. We are developing a sensor to monitorize in real time the density of nutrients of each of the foodstuffs that we are creating. So this is a type of product that this is something that we truly believe in too, Gonçalo. Not all food is the same, and we are doing that. We understand over the last couple of years, we're a food tech lab, that not all food is the same and the impact that this has been generating on people's lives. So this is called nutritional poverty. We can have industrial tomatoes can have less than 90% of the vitamin C compared to home farm tomatoes. So this is something extremely surprising for everyone. Not everyone knows it, not everyone is aware of it. And so we want to start building a new project, as all the project we are sharing now, for people to have a monitor, ideally in their phones, so that they can go through supermarket shelves and in real time understand the density of the foodstuffs that they are looking into. And so with more information, make better decisions. So with this in mind, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Daniel. I'm the founder of Center for Food Education and Research. We are a food tech lab helping dozens of entrepreneurs all around the world to create their foodstuffs. So we develop from scratch foods, drinks, supplements, and more recently cosmetics as well. So we are bridging the gap between the foods and the health and the beauty of each and every one of us. We are doing very exciting projects all around the world. So Portugal is our base, and we are connected to Fundão because we recently were awarded with the possibility of developing a Nurture project. But before I go into Nurture, I will quickly share with you what we do here at CFER. So we are a team of about 15 people. We are a fully private company. I'm the owner of the company. I'm the founder, I'm a food chemist. So over the last 12 to 15 years, I've been doing research for companies all around the world. And I understood that there was a very important gap in the market so that we could offer innovation in real time with a real market sensibility. So innovation is not, we need to understand, we need to guarantee that innovation gets to the market, gets to the supermarket shelves. So we have a team of food chemists, nutritionists, food engineers, salespeople, industrial people, and together we receive the challenge from the client, the industrial client, the entrepreneur, the investor group, and they challenge us with launching a new product, launching a new healthy beverages, launching a new supplement. We take it from scratch. We take care of the whole thing. We typically contract manufacture all around Europe so that our client is offered a full turnkey service and that their idea comes to life in a matter of months. So we have been helping hundreds of entrepreneurs and companies all around the world. Portugal is our base. We are based in Alcobaça, the west coast of the country. And we were challenged by Fundão to move some of our operations there. So in a nutshell, we do new product development. We also lead product development with universities. We are currently doing biosensors, drones for the agriculture. So our company is stepping out of the comfort zone of new product development in the lab. And so we are leading biosensors for food technology. We are leading biosensors for supermarket shelves. We are doing innovative fermentation products and many more. So we also invest in startups. This is something that has been on our DNA since day one. And over the last 6 to 7 years, we have done 5 to 7 investments. More and more, we want to grow as a food startup studio, helping entrepreneurs to incubate their businesses in our operation. And then we take a part of the capital, we introduce them to the market, and we guarantee that they don't die over the first 1 to 2 to 3 years, which are the most dangerous parts of being an entrepreneur. So we've currently just inaugurated also an M&A office inside our company. So we also want to acquire the capital of companies that gravitate towards the food industry operation. So this meaning distributors, farmers, everything that can be put under the universe of bringing a product to the market, whether that would be agriculture, manufacturing, or distribution. We are also looking into this together with some investment funds, especially in Portugal. So how do we reach Fundão? I will share quickly our Instagram. Our Instagram is very informative and it's kept updated. So essentially, we know that there is a lot of food waste in the country, everywhere in the world. The more we industrialize our food systems, the more waste we also have. So together with Fundão, we presented the Nurture project. Nurture is a project that aims to reduce the food waste in the Cova da Beira region, giving new life to unused food products. Okay, so this was funded by BPI, Fundação La Caixa. We actively work with funding arms of private and public investment opportunities. So we have submitted a successful application for the last 2 years, and we have been doing this uprising of the new and upcycling of this unused food products. We have first mapped which were the main unused food products of the region, and we have come to the conclusion that the way from the Cova da Beira region from cheese manufacturing operations is a very serious problem. So I will share with you also here this very quick video, which essentially resumes the Nurture project. We see this one. So essentially, we've come to forestry, we've come to horticulture, and we have come also to agriculture. And from this, we understood that the milk production can have up to 70% of food waste in terms of the whey. This whey is not currently being used in the region. So this footage that you're seeing is ourselves in the premises that Fundão kindly shared with us. So we are also upcycling communal premises in the region. So we are currently renovating, and we just recently renovated an old community cheese manufacturing operation. So together with the municipality, and we are very thankful to Pedro Neto, we are very thankful to all the organization because they have been fantastic. We have already created 5 to 8 jobs in the region. So we have moved our industrial and laboratorial operations to Fundão. We are creating teams there. We are getting close to the local universities, the polytechnicals, and everybody's really happy to work there. And our team from Alcobaça, so we maintain the two HQs. We frequently go there. We have also invested in some real estate there so that we can be more comfortable there. So I think we are a good example of how to create jobs there and how to create real legs and arms and ears and eyes in the region. So essentially, Nurture project is a project that will collect the whey from this Cova da Beira region, and we will produce final protein from this food waste. This protein, this whey that is currently being used and not being used and sometimes being discarded into water streams, this will be collected in our main lab in Fundão, in central region of Fundão, in the city. And we will produce whey from goats and cheap cheese, and this whey will bring to the market a new product that has never been developed in the world. So typically whey protein is a very high demand sector of business. There are currently no whey protein. There is no whey protein in the market from sheep and goat. And so we want to solve the problem, bring new revenue streams to our company, and solve agricultural and very serious atmospheric and cultural problems in the region by giving a new life to this whey protein. So essentially, my colleague here in this video is sharing how we have been building this new R&D unit. So as you can see, this was pretty brick and mortar. Over the last 4 months, you can see some of the cheese equipments that were there already. And so we are very happy to be creating jobs there, to be fully dedicating our team to create added value in the region. We are establishing fantastic partnerships in the region. This is not the first project, because over the last couple of months, we have also started to move better in the municipality, understand the needs of the territory. And so we have very successfully submitted also an application to use the spent waste of the olive oil production, the pomace. So the pomace did not have a life after leaving the olive mill. And so we understood and we found that the olive pomace can be used to treat waters from sewers. So we have partnered with the Cooperativa de Olivicultores de Beira Baixa in Fundão, and we will study. This has been funded, so we got this very exciting news in the last month. And so we will use this spent pomace to treat water from sewage, which is something very exciting. And we are also really happy to not only nurture the Nurture project, give it a new life, bring jobs and creating jobs and using food technology in the service of the community, but also using this olive pomace and many other projects that we have still now. So let me quickly share with you the inauguration of our lab. This took place in Fundão last month in the Feira de Inovação Agrícola. So we have already established ourselves in the region. This you can see AgroTech. Sorry, it does not have subtitles, but essentially I'm saying in the video, this is the Secretary, Ministry, Mr. President of Fundão. Everybody was present. We were inaugurating our new premises, kindly shared and provided by Fundão. As you can see in the previous videos, this was pretty brick and mortar. Now it's an official premise, laboratory premise. In the upper floor, we have our team of workers. We have 6 people working in Fundão right now. And in the down floor, we will build this pilot plant of the whey protein, plus the pomace, the olive pomace that we are now starting to implement. In the last couple of months, just to quickly wrap up, we have also developed this product. Maybe you can see here. This is an olive oil. This is an olive oil butter, and this was done to honor my grandfather, which you can see here. This is being done with the local olive oil from Fundão, and we will bring this to the market and also build a small pilot plant in Fundão. Next week, we start the manufacturing there. So this is our company. We are CFER. We've been doing business for the last 7 years. We do food tech. We are implemented in Fundão. We are bringing new food tech projects there. We are very sensitive to as Gonçalo was sharing, the demographic crisis that has been happening in the country. Lisbon and Porto is not what we don't always need to be in the main cities to make things happen. We understand that rural territories have a big added value. We want to be part of that change. We want to bring high world-class innovation to rural territories. And we feel very much welcomed by Fundão Municipality. The team is fantastic. We only have good things to share about the team. And we want to bring more projects. We want to bring more innovation. And I think everybody should consider moving to Fundão and creating some of their projects there. So thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much also for your attention. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I swear we did not pay Daniel to say this. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for participating. And I have to say that olive butter is amazing, as I just had the opportunity to taste it a few days ago. Thank you so much for this partnership and for sharing your project. And now I'm going to give the floor to Rafhael Monteiro. Rafhael is working with UPinC, and they are a startup. And as you know, we are very keen on fostering startups here in Fundão and giving them a place to develop their projects. And UPinC is one of those projects, and Rafhael is going to present it to you and share his experience in being a startup here in Fundão. So, Rafhael.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rafhael. I am the founder of UPinC. You are driving the digital transformation for farmers using AI. So today I will talking a little bit about UPinC project. Actually, I started in Fundão back in 2022. And what we do is develop a automation and monitoring solution for agriculture and livestock, really focus on efficiency and resource saving. So here I show you the problems that UPinC is resolving. Current solution is often very expensive and limited, and a lot of farms today spend a lot water and electric power. So the UPinC solution is about spend less water, electric, and it's more system cost effective for hardware. Like here, UPinC bring one hardware for control many things in farms, like control bulb or lighting. For how UPinC make it spend less water and electric power. UPinC has developed a digital platform called Smart Control, which integration farms management to ensure as light and irrigation. As you can see here, that is collected by sensor in the field and send it through a lot on network to the platforms. And the platforms has a decision when the best time for irrigation or turn on the valves or other things. So we use varied sensors like weather station, water meter, soil sensor, and the activity of pump. And the smart control platform integrates all these devices into one field, on the field system, so it can automatically manage things like irrigation and the other farms operation all in one place. So here just a smart control dashboard. As you can see here, is various sensor here, humidity, temperature, and the others. So here's the business model of UPinC. The first you have purchase hardware for customers, size subscriptions, system integration with AIs. Here we can compartment data and the other platforms. So here is a services technical support or install sensor in the field. So and here, as you can see here, is a weather station you have set up in the Fundão farms. So and over here is a soil sensor installed on the same farms. And yeah, it's my presentation. So I'm finished here. Thank you for attention. So I open for questions you have. And thank you for Fundão for it.
Thank you so much, Rafhael, for your presentation. And now I'm going to open the floor to questions. So anyone in the audience that has some questions, this is the moment to ask them. Please feel free to chat a little bit with us. And even if you don't have questions, if you have ideas, if you have a discussion you want to open. I see Mr. Pedro Fiennes in the audience. You don't want to talk to us, Pedro? O Pedro e o inglês. Isso é mais difícil. Okay, so if we don't have any questions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an email to all participants with a survey link so that you can help us understand if these webinars are good or not, where we could improve. And also I will give you my contact so that if you have any questions, you can talk to me and I will direct you to whoever you want to talk to. If you want to talk to Daniel, to Gonçalo, to Rafhael, or if you want to talk directly with the municipality, if you have a project, or if you want to #move to Fundão, you can talk to us about that. I want to thank our speakers for their time. Thank you so much for being present, for presenting your projects, for being partners with the municipality. We are very happy to embrace all of you and to make a team with each and every one of you. And we hope, we have a Q&A. Hi, Teresa.